Hello, beautiful Leo. Happy New Year to all of you. My name is Iwona Rose, and welcome to my channel, Rose Healing Light. Um, I hope you had a good holiday season and a good end of the year and the beginning of the new year. This will be a reading with spiritual guidance for the month of January 2023. For the sign of Leo. You can listen to it if for your sign. So if Leo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your ascendant sign. Also for your Venus. You can also choose to listen for cross watching if you wish, and for any other placements that where you have Leo in your chart. I will also at the end of the reading, at the end of the video, I will pull also two cards for as a, let's say, as a theme or as a message for the year 2023 for you guys. And also, just so you know, I've asked already. I work with angels and archangels also with the readings. So I've already asked Archangel Michael and Archangel Metatron to to be with us, to stay with us, to send us blessings and protection, so that we have a great experience here together with the video. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We will start with the theme, for the month of January. I normally you guys have a bit like you seem to have extra cards this month, but that's okay. We'll just take it as it goes, right? So your main theme is higher power, and this came with also exchanging gifts, number 27. The higher power card, I would say first, is about relying or so it's recognizing and relying what is or who is the highest, let's say who has the highest power in the world, which does take you to spirit, God, universe, right, source, whichever way you wish to call it, and also to rely on it, right? So once you recognized, and you probably have come here to these readings to already realizing that there is something higher than just you and your ego, perhaps, or your mind. So you are encouraged to continue to rely on that, to remember that you do rely probably in all things in your life on the high power, right, with anything, and connect with it as well. So every day, or as often as you can talk to God, spirit, universe. You can talk to them, and you can use practices like meditation. You can meditate, you can also pray. Yeah, but the encouragement here, the main message is just to remember that this is part of you, and also God is inside of you, or like the spirit. You also have your spirit and your soul, right? So perhaps also to connect with yourself and with your soul inside of you, in order perhaps to make any choices or decisions in life as well. And it does come with exchanging gifts, and this card, on the other hand, the exchanging gifts is about, I think it's about giving and receiving, in life in general, in relationships as well. This is how it comes in. So perhaps maybe that's just important for you to pay attention to it, right? To pay attention how you receive from people, how you give or how much you give, and sorry, if there is a balance, or if things are out of balance, then I guess you will want to correct it, right? But I feel like even with the giving and receiving part of your life, and the theme is also asking you to come back and connect with spirit, God, universe again, also with the spirit within, to perhaps understand this aspect of you or this aspect of life, right? Meaning that you may be encountering, obviously we all have issues with that, right? Or we all have imbalances. So if anything comes up, you are being asked to remember that, also just involve and connect with spirit, God, universe, and the soul within, to understand your lessons, and understand and ask for guidance and directions for the future, and for how you want to, for example, resolve things as well. All right, the present situation for you guys, and it does, yeah, so you have a future card, but I will talk about it, which is actually the Chariot. And it just reminds me that this also is a representation of the fact that actually you do have the power to resolve things, and to move things forward for yourself if something is out of balance, right? If we said about the exchanging gifts card. But let's start with the present situation, your present moment card, the present card, and also the center. It's change your life, so that's number 16. This is actually a tower card in the traditional tarot. It does come with the Three of Gabriel, so Three of Wands, and also with Archangel Metatron, 6th chakra, which is the third eye chakra. I would suggest that this, first of all, something happens. So something happens, the tower card, that change your life. It's perhaps a sudden, this is what it says here, it's a sudden revelation, perhaps sudden awakening. Something happens quickly, abruptly. It changes something for you and also within of you. It may also change your plans, like change either your current plans for the near future, or it may also change the way you see, let's say, your planning process for the future, or it may change some aspect of, let's say, of a plan for the, let's say, for the future ahead, right? So maybe you've been planning something for, I don't know, for another, like for a year in advance, right? So anyway, this also will be affected. So your plans will be affected. And this feels also, this is also an expansion card. So remember perhaps that if anything happens that kind of that shakes you up a little bit or trembles, surprises you, it may not be the best thing, but remember that it happens for a reason, and there is a purpose to it. There is a divine purpose to it. And while the disruption, let's say, to your plans, or disruption even to your daily life, may be unpleasant, or maybe even redirecting you to kind of different activities or even different plans, that I would suggest that you need to first of all, you need to trust it. So you need to trust your path, right? Trust that things happen for a reason. And then coming back to your theme, right, which is about higher power. It feels to me like the main message is just to trust it, right? Whatever happens, trust that this happened for a reason, right? That even though it disrupted you and it disrupted your plans and some, I don't know, some future, future planning or future visions that you wanted to do for yourself, it came for a reason, right? It came to help you. Not only in the short term, but maybe in the longer term. Maybe this is how it goes. And Archangel Metatron, I feel, he comes in also to tell you to rely. So he is the angel. So you've got the third eye, right? Sorry, guys, if you can see the the dots. So the third eye chakra, right here. First of all, I think the message from Archangel Metatron, because he's here with us, he's reminding you that, guys, for all of you, you can, with the higher power, he's happy, you can connect with him for anything that you need, or you can connect with any other archangel and angel, so that you can receive, let's say, the relevant guidance with regards to the situation or anything else in life. And he is reminding also you that that you have a very strong, so you guys, you have a very strong intuition. You guys, Leo, so that's a message for you. Remember that you have your intuition, and you have a strong intuition, to continue to trust it and use your intuition to guide yourself in life, right? And again, if you have any doubts or any confusion about that, Archangel Metatron is inviting you and highly recommends that you connect with any aspect of, let's say, how you understand any aspect of spirit, God, universe, perhaps, or you can also connect with angels and archangels, and this will help you with guidance forward, right? This is how it's coming. The past card, so that's interesting actually, because in the past we actually have a Queen of Raphael, and this is Queen of Water in the traditional cup, in the traditional deck, sorry. And this came actually with adjacent possibilities card, which are actually coming, it came reversed, and it tells me that, like, some of your choices, like something in the past either has been happening, or something happened that you weren't able to, let's say, choose the choice, let's say, choose your choice, right? So what I mean by this, that you weren't able, for example, to go the way, because this also feels like you can have, right, there are different doors here, and on the left and on the right, and obviously there's also just a path straight up here, right? But it feels like you kind of, your choices weren't, I don't know, either your choices weren't right, or maybe something, you were being, let's say, blocked over by circumstances or other people sometimes, or maybe just whatever was happening, and you weren't able to, so that's why this card came up reversed, right? And it feels like you weren't able, let's say, to follow this straight path let's say upwards or wherever you want it to go, right? And so yeah, so I would suggest with this one, yeah, so something was happening that you were, let's say, on, like, you were going through some detours, some redirections as well. Again, you weren't, it feels also like you felt like you weren't able to choose the right way forward, or you were having issues with that, right? Maybe you felt like you've made mistakes, or you sometimes didn't know if if this is the right thing, what you were doing in a certain way. But this card comes up with with the Queen of Raphael, and I would read it. I feel like it's either you, so I think you are being reminded, so this is the message that you are strong. So I think it's part of you that you are the Queen of Cups, and you have a strong intuition, and you are sensitive enough to know, let's say, what your guidance is. But I feel like someone, and it may have been a female as well, who is probably also perhaps strongly intuitive, but she may have been, let's say, misguided you or something like that. She does come upright though, so I don't think that, I mean, I don't use these cards in reverse, but I think it's just kind of either it's a reminder for you guys, and that this is what happened in the past, and part of this, obviously, so part of the fact that you couldn't choose the path forward, or you just couldn't, it kind of comes like as if you were stuck and you were not really sure if you were choosing the right path, or the path, like you couldn't choose the path, right? Or you were just choosing other directions because you just couldn't go straight ahead. And it does feel like someone was a little bit like you were under influence of someone. I don't think that it was a bad thing as such, but it could have even been like, it seems like, as a therapist, or maybe even someone who also is highly intuitive, but they didn't, I would say that they didn't see your path in the right way, right? I wouldn't say, I don't think that they were like, she wasn't like, they were not malicious, or they didn't do it maybe with bad intentions. But even though people are highly intuitive, it's probably a reminder that not everyone can see your path, because it's only you who knows what's best for you, right? And that's why it's a reminder that the higher power, that's why the theme comes in as higher power, and a reminder that you have the spirit inside of you as well, right? You are the light, you are the soul. And you also, like, yeah, and you have God inside of you, which means that you always know which way to go and how your intuition is guiding you. All right, so I think that out of this, the message is just to continue to trust, and to remind you that you are who you are, right? And you are the soul, and you can trust yourself and trust your guidance. And the future, but here I think it's a positive now affirmation, because the future card is the Chariot. The Chariot is also a major arcana, so it could be, so whatever I've just said, it could be a major lesson in your life, because this could be also like a mother figure, for example, or a friend that you really trusted. It could also be, because it comes like, for example, tarot readers, readers like me, it could be a therapist, so someone that you trusted. And either they've betrayed, so I'm hearing that maybe some of you may experience, maybe they've betrayed your trust in some way as well. And it may relate to a toxic mother figure. So if we go deeper, it can be, let's say, worse, but again, I don't think that they did it intentionally, right? And they just wanted to guide you the way they saw the path, but not obviously the way, but not kind of understanding you and not letting you go, let's say, and letting you choose yourself. So coming back to it, like the Chariot in the future position, I feel like this energy is already coming through, and it might be stronger perhaps around mid-January, or like a bit, yeah, or like a bit later in January. But the Chariot does talk to me that you can, it's like you can center yourself, you've got the power within, and you can use your intuition, and you can use your own skill set, right? And your own intuition, your own divine guidance in order to progress forward, right? And the Chariot is also about moving forward. It's usually like the dark horse and the white horse. So I feel like you have the power within, but it's not even about the power. It just feels like that you have the strength, and the strength can come. It's also your heart center, and your heart center is the seat of your soul. So you have the soul, you have the spirit, and you have the strength within you to kind of pull it together, right? To balance it out, to know what was the shadow and what was the light, and to keep moving forward based on how you perceive it and how you feel it, right? And it's probably important that you hear it maybe from someone, like me, like tarot. And even though, and I would suggest that even if you've been listening to tarot readers or angel readings like mine or something like that, remember, I would just say, remember to use your discernment, and also remember that when you are changing on your path, sometimes there is a time to change. For example, a reader or someone that you've been watching or following. So you may need to change a teacher as well, right? I think this is the message as well. So just remember that. So obviously there is some change coming in. We've just moved from 2022 to the new year 2023. It very often brings about changes. um yeah, so it's probably an invitation to trust yourself and know that if you felt perhaps betrayed, or maybe you just felt misguided by someone or influenced uh inconveniently perhaps by this person, that you have the power just to move away from them. And there is, and you actually do have in your outcome card, you've got 8 of Raphael, and this is actually you stepping forward and moving away from some, let's say, toxic patterns in relationship, right? So it's a confirmation, a yes. Listen to yourself, listen to your divine guidance, connect with Archangel Metatron or other archangels to make sure that this is right for you, right? And they will definitely give you all the signs and whatever you need. All right, guys. And this card also comes actually with the appreciation card. And appreciation, I feel this is the appreciation for yourself, which is very important this in the month of January. And I think versus, so if we obviously if we look back at the Queen of Raphael, who perhaps influenced you, not in a nice way, let's say, not then this is just a reminder, have appreciation for yourself first, right? So you don't have to, because some people can, well, that's from a therapeutic perspective, and whatever I've gone through, like some people can actually pull even appreciation and gratitude. So gratitude can be like a power struggle as well, right? So some people demand, even like, it depends how you grew up or how you were brought up, but even some parents, because they are older, right, and they may have grown up again in this kind of environment, that they kind of demanded appreciation or demanded respect, for example, and this was somewhere deeply ingrained in you, and maybe that's why you've allowed this person to it comes to manipulate you, but you've allowed this person to, let's say, influence you negatively, right? But now it's time to move forward from this. It's time to correct it. It's time to bring back the balance to yourself. It's time to recognize also, what is the dark and what is the light in the situation and inside of you, and also in this person, and have appreciation for yourself. So I would say you don't have to give appreciation to everyone, especially if you felt something isn't right. Okay. The three, so okay, with the challenge, you've got 3 of Ariel, and that's actually 3 of Pentacles. So it probably confirms what I've just said, because 3 of Pentacles is a lot about cooperation and communication. So working with people or with others in order to achieve something, right? Or a goal. And I think that it also, so it is reminding you that it's a challenge aspect, right? So perhaps it's reminding you, as I said, that you have to move away from toxic people, move away from people who, again, who misguided you, or did something that you didn't like and it felt like it was inconvenient to you, or it was inconvenient to you, right? Betrayal, some strong words, things like betrayal and manipulations do come back here, so it can be deeper than this, deeper than just unpleasant, right? So I'm just letting you know. So if that happened, you are being, yeah, so the challenge is the cooperation. So perhaps looking out for yourself, like making sure that you be watchful of who you cooperate with, right? Who you work with, and who perhaps you listen to for advice, what teachers you choose, and things like that, right? And remember, oh gosh, I've lost. Sorry, guys, I need to bring one. Apologies, I lost one card. It fell on the floor. Coming back to your higher power and to cooperation, right? You've got the power also, you've got light and God inside of you, but you can also reach out to the higher power, right? To source, to God, to the angels, to ask them for help. And I would suggest that this is your first, if you can just, we need to, also one aspect that I can tell you what I've, we need to, you need to continuously remind yourself, because this is a practice. So meditation, prayer, it's a practice, it's a daily practice. So it would be good for you to perhaps start doing that. But the main point here is just to remember that you are the one who reaches out to God, and you need to kind of a little bit train yourself and train your mind to know that your first point of, let's say, reference and point of help is always God, right? Spirit, source, universe, and cooperate with spirit too, please. Okay. These cards come as your environment. So I've lost actually Archangel Michael, Ace of Michael on the floor. I don't know, I feel like Archangel Michael is asking just me to laugh a little bit, but it's like an extra message that even though it's an environment card, but Michael is saying that Archangel Michael is saying that you have the clarity. So you also, I feel like you are clear enough in your mind sometimes. So you have also your logic, right, to know what's best for you, right, and what's wrong, or to discern what is right or what is wrong, at least for you. Because this is okay. These cards are the environment card, and it does come as 5 of Gabriel, which is 5 of Wands. It's not necessarily, I'm just thinking, because sometimes it comes, it's not a conflict, but it does feel like you may be, probably other people are coming again, and you may feel like you are being a little bit, not discombobulated, but like you are being a little bit torn around, like your energy may be scattered. And yeah, so manipulated, like it comes like you may feel manipulated, or you may experience being manipulated by other people, right? Not everyone, but maybe people that you considered, also people like this, you considered perhaps someone, yeah, like teachers, right, or mentors, right? So you considered them as, let's say, as an aspect of authority. So just be watchful for that, right? That's the environment, but it does feel like, but the Ace of Michael, Archangel Michael is saying that you have, but remember that you have the clarity in your mind, and trust it as well, right? So you've got, so one thing is your intuition, right? Trusting it, but the other thing is just to make sure that you trust also, let's say, your logical mind, or you see it clearly, and you need to trust yourself and trust it, right, to just handle these kind of, let's say, manipulations, or people who are not, let's say, guiding you in the right way, to the right path. Okay, let me just, I'm just sorry guys, I just stopped because I wanted to ask Archangel Metatron to shield me energetically a little bit. And apologies if there are other noises. I think someone in my flat is talking loud, but maybe you won't be able to hear it. I hope so. I think I want to continue with the video, right? So apologize if there is something. I've asked Archangel Metatron to help with organizing it. This is okay. So let's come back. I do want to continue, guys. So I hope that you can hear me well. This is actually your outcome. It actually came together card, and one is, so this is 8 of Raphael. I think it's perhaps a little bit more important, and 2 of Raphael. So 8 of Raphael, as I've already spoken, you have enough, you have the strength, and you probably will be able to recognize, you've got the clarity, right, in your mind, Ace of Michael, to release and to move away from toxic people and toxic patterns, right? So yeah, I would just suggest clearly that be also clear with yourself and know, okay, like sometimes enough is enough, right? Once you've seen, and the pattern can repeat itself. So it's an affirmation that you will be able, and I feel like the energy is telling you that you should, and you will be moving away from toxic people and manipulations and things like that. It came with the 2 of Raphael, and 2 of Raphael is usually about relationships. It could pertain to close relationships, soulmates. It could be also romantic partners. Like, remember guys that, yeah, so whomever was the person who was obviously not, but it's this come as a woman anyway, whomever you feel, let's say, manipulated by or disturbed, because you may feel disturbed by other people, right, for whatever reason, then you have the strength and you will continue. It feels like it's a process, but this is the energy, so you feel it already inside, and the energy of January is just encouraging you to keep moving forward and moving away from these people, right? And that's just, and maybe choosing, so this is just a confirmation. It's a relationship card, right? Yeah, just keep moving away and keep moving, and maybe just keep searching for people who have, let's say, the best interest at heart for you as well, not only for them. Yeah, I feel like, because the message is kind of deeper, and I could talk, it's a lot about like understanding how toxic relationship, yeah, and toxic people can influence us. Again, I've gone through this myself. I was blocked also, for example, by my father, but that's because, and I had to, that's because of who he was, right? And I had to go through a really long and deep healing in order to understand how actually how this affected even my manifestation, right? But it was a little bit unspoken, for example, but just an example, right? So I think you're learning a lot. Remember that it's a learning curve as well, and recognize which relationships and who is kind of good for you, who you want to listen to. Like I mentioned, for example, tarot and angel readers, because it may be also, it may be like time for you to step up, right? Or move away from some people and then find better relationships, let's say, and I don't know, better tarot readers or better angel readers, or better, let's say, yeah, like teachers on YouTube, if you if YouTube is what you are watching. These 2 cards came, so I said you have a little bit extra messages here. Well, 24 minutes. Okay, let's, this is an advice card, and it says, okay, so this came first, guys. Sorry, it says think it through. So we talked about the clarity, right, of the mind. And take inspired action. So I would just suggest think it through. So anything, any toxic pattern, anything that happens or misguidance by other people, it's an encouragement to work with the higher power. Think it through, and then once you've thought it through, right, take inspired action. I think the inspired is quite important. And inspired, so do whatever lights you up, and do whatever feels right for you. Okay, I think this is the message for January. Let's just take the message because the video is already 25 minutes and I'm trying anyway. Let's just I'm just trying to keep it shorter for you guys so that you can be, let's say, entertained, right, and have a nice experience. So let me take a breath. Yeah, so I'm taking now 2 cards for 2023 for you guys. Let me ask. Okay, that's for Leo. Yes, I'm just confirming. Okay, you will be learning probably a lot. Yeah, for Leo for 2023. I'll tell you in a moment. You've got the card called beneath sorry, the surface. That's a lot about subconscious patterns and working with subconscious. So maybe that's why the January, the year starts the way it starts, right? But it's just only, I would say it's only to make you more aware of yourself. Okay, Archangel Michael is asking me to take 2 cards rather than 1, but it's 1 message, right? Okay, this is focus upon divine and perfect health. And also this comes with energy healing work. So I would suggest, I want to read it like as a 1 message, right? So it does mean that you might have been, so perhaps the energy healing work is more important. And I think in January, probably something starts to resurface or surface in your life to show you. And so, and I think you begin to recognize how you were affected by people. So your awareness is rising, right? And like maybe, and you probably will feel like the urge to kind of really move forward and move away from people. It's not always so simple to release, let's say, narcissistic people from your life as well, right? And it can be a process and it can be difficult. I think Archangel Michael is just suggesting and affirming here that you need to either start doing healing work and look for the right, let's say, therapists and energy healers. Energy healing work is highlighted more. Yes, for example, like Reiki or any other type of energy healing, so that you can continue to do, okay, I feel like you can continue to do your inner work, but I think perhaps new practices. So it does something that feels inside of me through the reading that you need to either find new practitioners, new therapists, and perhaps new people who can guide you forward as well, right, with that. The focus on divine and perfect health is just also reminding you that if your health is affected because of something else, or also because of toxic people and their behavior, then the message is obviously continue or do energy healing work and find the right, and I feel like it is about finding the right therapists to help you, right? And this will serve you altogether beneath the surface. This is about, it says hidden truths, something unknown, but like for me, but because this is an iceberg, and I usually read, at least recently, the way it comes to me as a representation of ice, it's something about subconscious pattern, but subconscious becoming conscious, right? So this will continue perhaps to manifest in your life through 2023. As we've spoken, toxic people, or you understanding how people have affected you in the past, maybe you understanding, also ancestral patterns, right? And things like this, and clearing your energy. So, so I feel like this is the main message, right? Working with subconscious pattern, I mean, something that becomes conscious and your awareness is rising to the level that you want to resolve it for yourself, or you want to heal it as well. And I think in order to resolve it or move away from these toxic people, you will need to heal yourself, right? So find the right energy healing work and perhaps energy healing therapists as well. All right, okay, Leos, thank you for being here, for watching the video. I hope you have a good January. Please do hit subscribe or like button. I will be grateful for this, and I hope to see you in my future videos. I'm sending you much love, and take care of yourself. Bye.